Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons! And we are all pumped up today. I'll have some announcements and a recap for all of you, but before I do any of that, Nick, will you go ahead and start off some character introductions?
Sure. I'm Nick. I play Empress of White Ash, the Tabaxi Sunspell Monk.
Hi, I'm Kay. I play Lady Alen'dal, who is an elvish Circle of the Land druid.
Hello, I'm Melissa, and I play Tuppence Wiseacre, who is a little pixie bard.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Vert, the Changeling Armorer Artificer.
Thank you, everyone. So those announcements real quick. We premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items, as well as a custom pixie lineage. You encounter custom monsters, so be aware of that. There's a lot of custom stuff going on, so be aware of that as you're watching. The character portraits, which you'll see all over the layout, were drawn by a variety of artists, so you can check the description info for information about all of the artists whose art appears on the screen. And if you like any of it, be sure to go support them, because they're all awesome. If you need a refresher on anything that's going on in the campaign, we have a campaign wiki at World Anvil. There's a page on there called The Story So Far, I think, that is totally up to date. I kind of just keep it up to date on an episode by episode basis, so that's a good way to get caught up quick. Other than that, you can check the video description for links and information to everything I just mentioned and more, including some links to Black Lives Matter and Stop Asian Hate resources. We also have a co-host, so you can follow us on co-host at Antiheroes. And finally, we just hope you enjoy the show, share with your friends, and come back to watch some more. So with all of that said, let's roll the intro video. And welcome back. Previously on Antiheroes Anonymous, the Silver Seekers have returned from the Feywild, where they managed to recruit the fairy dragon Nim into Tuppence's orchestra. Though more members remain to be recruited before the Concerto of Cleaving can be performed, Tuppence has agreed to stick around for at least one more job with the Silver Seekers. Vert is eager to free his father, Basil Oranglass, from Greymantle Penitentiary, and has begun to consult with the local thieves guild known as the Clouder in order to gather some intel. Meanwhile, Elwyn is tending to a seed left behind by Lord Mistralath, which Nim claims will grow into a vessel capable of traveling the stars. Very mysterious. And so we will pick up where we left off last week, which was while Vert and Embers were out meeting with the leader of the Clouder, Crackle of Flames, this mysterious Tabaxi woman. Elwyn was visited by a cold wind heralding the arrival of a very important figure in her life. And this meeting was signaled when the Silver Seekers' new alarm spell surrounding their keep was triggered with a loud wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo. I guess, yeah, what does the alarm sound like?
A wooga!
Veto.
Veto stamp.
It's like it's gotta be like a car
Like
alarm.
a jalopy?
Like,
Like a...
wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo.
Yes. Or
Oh my gosh.
I think it's like it just picks from a random one of these sounds and then just plays it.
So anyways, there's a loud alarm noise. Fortunately, the only people in the keep right now are Tuppence and Nim, and then Elwyn as well. But Vert and, I guess Vert, you would feel that mental pain as well. How does Tuppence react?
To the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? Nim, do you hear that? It's not just me, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I hear it. It must be that new rope that was installed in the ground.
Let's go see. Let's go.
Okay, so where do you rush to?
Wherever it's the loudest? Is it loud where it's broken?
It would probably... it's kind of like an all-present noise. I don't know why I have this song playing already. Switch songs. Mischief Maker. There we go. Switch to that other one in a bit. It's probably like an all-present noise, so there's not really a loudest source for it, but you know that the rope is kind of like dug into the ground around the keep.
Okay, let's go on the roof. See if we can look down.
Okay. Tuppence and Nim, you fly up to the roof and kind of burst out of the doors, and you can see the back of a figure who you've never seen before. But I assume you've heard descriptions of from Elwyn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my description of her up, but it is the masked lady. She's got this kind of slender, tall form with, I think, long hair that kind of goes down to like her waist. And you can see that she's also kind of like well armored, and she's carrying a sword at her side. And she kind of turns to look in your direction as you burst out. And she's got this mask with like intricate snowflake designs and piercing golden eyes. How does Elwyn react when this all happens as well?
I think that, she turned around when she saw the snowflakes, the telltale snowflakes, and she was kind of standing there staring, but the alarm went off pretty much immediately. So I think she was kind of waiting to see if Tuppence would react to the alarm before she does or says anything.
Mm-hmm.
So she was probably just standing there like...
So yeah, there's that brief moment of silence where you and the masked lady are kind of looking at each other, and she goes to open her mouth, but then there's the sound of the door from behind, and these two tiny fairy-like creatures just whiz straight out the door.
And I think as soon as Elwyn sees Tuppence and Nim coming, she puts that mask of herself back on, and she says like, "Oh, Tuppy, yeah, that alarm was pretty startling, wasn't it?"
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, we're fine here.
Okay.
Can we have a few minutes, please?
Oh, of course.
Thanks for checking on me. I appreciate it.
That was startling. Okay, bye.
Sorry for the false alarm.
So we're good?
We're good.
Okay.
Thanks.
That was weird.
Thanks, Nim. Thanks, Tuppy.
And before too long, the alarm sound does stop. It doesn't go on and on and on.
Can we
So
pause?
Tuppy will have to
Yeah,
say to
Finish your thought.
to Nim, "Oh boy, I hope that doesn't put a cramp in Ember's love life."
Was it a love thing?
No, I mean that alarm.
Oh, yeah. So Tuppence and Nim leave, chittering and chattering all the way. But the door closes behind them, and you're left on the roof with just you and the masked lady. And she kind of turns back to you and gives you a little grimace.
We just installed it. I'm sorry.
No, I just wish I'd known. I would have been more...
Knocked?
Yeah, that.
I think Elwyn kind of can't really make eye contact for a second, and she just walks up and puts her face in the masked lady's chest and just hugs her around the waist.
This has been the case when you've hugged the masked lady before.
Yes.
But it's like, it's very much you are hugging her and not like
Yes.
you're getting hugged back. She kind of stiffens a little
Yeah.
bit. but she does put an arm kind of around you and like pat your shoulder. Are you okay?
I was worried I wouldn't see you again. I couldn't hear your voice for a long time, and I'm just really glad you're here.
Yeah, she kind of grabs your shoulders and like pushes you back just a little bit so that you can actually like see each other face to face. It's not like she's pushing you away, but she's just trying to, open up so you can kind of talk a little bit. And she
can
says,
see there's tears in Elwyn's eyes.
And she says, "Oh, Elwyn, I'm so sorry about that. I didn't know it would happen the way that it did, but when you went down there, I couldn't feel you either. I was worried too. I
needed you."
She nods and says, "I know. I didn't know, but I thought you might, and I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there." What happened? Why don't
I'm
you tell me
sorry
a bit
too,
about
because
it?
I needed help, and you weren't there, and she was.
She takes a step back, kind of breaking the embrace entirely, and she looks down at you, and her eyes kind of narrow a bit, and she says, "She as in..."
She nods. Listen, I know how you feel. I mean, I don't know what happened between you, and I don't presume to know anything about your relationship with her, but I didn't want to betray your trust, and I didn't want to let her in, but the city, it was falling apart, and she saved it. She saved a whole stalactite from falling down. Massive amounts of people. She was there, and I don't know, she seems genuinely like she wants to help them and reconnect, and I tried to be smart about it, and I tried to be cautious, but something that Ember said really struck me. Ember's, I don't know how much you've heard of our conversations or if you've listened to it, but Ember's is all about redemption. Her goddess that she follows, it's all about redemption, and I think I wanted to give the Weaver a chance too, because I mean, everyone deserves a second chance, and she has proven that she wants to help, and she did say she was going to try and patch things up with you too.
She, throughout the entire time that you're talking, you can see that the masked lady like opens her mouth to like interject a couple times, but then closes it again to let you go on. And when you finish talking, she just kind of like shakes her head and says, "Listen, Elwyn, I could never be disappointed in or upset with you. You did what you needed to do, and I can't blame you for listening to her. You don't even know how many years I spent listening to her and making excuses for her, and it took a long time before the wool fell from my eyes and I saw her for who she truly is. All I can say is just, you should be careful." And while she's saying this, she's surveying like the differences with your staff, the necklace that you're now wearing, and she kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and just says, "I made a lot of mistakes trying to keep my mother in my life. I just don't want the same for you."
I understand. At least I think I do. But we're up against something now that's way bigger than anything I could ever accomplish, and I think we're going to need all the help we can get. If she's willing to help, and she's not asking for anything except for help reconnecting with with her followers, and I don't know. I'm worried that she's gonna betray us, and I know that's a possibility, but I think that I genuinely do. I think that she can change. I think she wants to change.
When you said reconnecting with her followers, the masked lady's eyes, you can tell, like, she... She says, "Do you know how the people of Erudition came to be where they are?"
Well, I have heard the histories of what happened with names and notes that I don't have in front of me right now. With
I can find it.
the god Corlon and you and the other dude helping them escape.
I'm looking up right now.
And the curse of the
Cellophane.
That's right, cellophane. You and Cellophane fighting to save the people from her realm of darkness and bring them back out, and her fighting against them and cursing some of them to turn into those, what are they called?
Driders.
Driders.
She shakes her head.
She has a long history of doing bad things. I understand that. I know that it's a long path to redemption, but I think that her saving the city was the first step.
If it was the first step, then she has a long way to go
Of course she does.
to redeem the atrocities that she perpetuates in her city of Tenebris. And the masked lady kind of closes her eyes.
Can I ask you
Cellophane
something?
and I needed to leave. We had to take our followers, or all of them were going to be killed. That society is brutal. There was no other hope for survival, and she pursued us vindictively. She made me kill him, and I loved him. And she cried. You could see like a tear forming on the eye there when she says that. She knew we loved each other, and she made us do that.
The statues in the forest.
She nods. We were supposed to meet there.
I don't know what to do. If we condemn everyone for the sins of their past and don't give them a chance at a future, are we any better than them? What if she honestly feels sorry for all that? What if she honestly has seen the error of her ways? I'm not condoning what she did. I hate her for it. But should we turn her away?
The whole time you're talking, the masked lady is just shaking her head and says, I had a line. What was it? Gosh darn it. No. You don't know my mother. If she wants to try and make amends to the people of Erudition, if she's trying to reconnect with her lost people, then she has a reason for it, and it's not good. It's not redemption, I promise you.
Okay. I accept that's what you believe. And I'll keep that in mind.
Roll an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
You're really good.
Shut up. Why would you say that?
Roll it at advantage. Roll it at advantage.
You get advantage
You
now.
cursed me!
But I have advantage.
Because of Zach's curse, you get advantage.
It's a great curse. I should curse everybody. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
25.
Okay.
You're welcome.
What was the thing that you had just
Shut
said? The cold curse thing distracted me. What was I going to tell you? Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember. When you say that you accept that this is what she believes and all of that, you can see a fear cross her eyes. She is afraid that she has misstepped, and you think that she's probably afraid that she's going to lose you for taking this stance. It is a powerful fear that just crosses her eyes.
I'm gonna reach out and attempt to take her hand.
She flinches back at first, but then lets you take it.
You've helped me for the last 2 years to get here. I place you before anyone. Illustrate. I know you haven't told me everything. I know there's so much that I don't understand. I need help. And I don't know how much you can give me. After what happened in the Underdark, I'm terrified that you're not going to be there when I most need you. I want to help you too.
She kind of like shakes her head and says, "No, you don't owe me anything, but I
do.
I want to be there for you. I'm
How
so
can I-
sorry that I couldn't reach you and I couldn't feel you and I didn't know that you needed me."
How can we keep that from happening again? I don't want to be without you.
She shakes her head and says, I don't know. It's down there. It's hard for me to go back. I don't know what to tell you. But maybe I can work on it.
Maybe I can stay above ground for a while.
Yeah, she nods.
We are planning a trip to the prison, Greymantle Penitentiary. We're gonna try to break out Vert's dad. He's apparently in prison there, the king. I'm gonna need you for that too.
You can see like a resolve solidify.
I promise I will call your name first every time.
I'll be there. I promise. And she kind of tentatively, like she's unsure of the motion, but like reaches to hug you.
I'll hug her back very tightly.
Yeah, you're squeezing tighter than she is.
Yeah,
but, like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
And yeah, while her head is kind of nestled against your head in the hug, she just says, "You're really all that I have."
You're all I have too. In the end.
You have so much more.
I found a clue about my mom while I was in erudition.
Oh?
She went to the city under Vagma. Lumeria? Am I remembering that right?
Lumera?
Lumera?
Yeah.
Something like that? That's where she left me a letter. She knew I would come after her.
Well, that's great news. How are you feeling about that?
I don't know. She was in erudition 100 years ago. So I don't expect to find her there, but maybe she's waiting somewhere for me. And if she's waited 100 years, she can wait a little bit longer.
100 years isn't that long in the scale of timelines for some people. She kind of puts on a weak smile when she says that.
People like you, maybe, but I mean, even for people like me, it can be a lifetime.
She kind of fixes you with a warm look and says, I don't know, I have a feeling she'll be there.
I hope so. But we gotta focus on Vert's dad first.
She kind of separates from the hug at this point and says, well, is there anything I can do to help make up for a little bit of lost time?
I don't know if you can think of any way to, I don't know, mold stone? Or...
Just checking something.
I'm gonna do good a spell at 4th level that is prepared right now for this reason.
Which spell?
Stone shape.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I'm not really good with earth as an element. I've dabbled in, well, of course, snow and water and a little bit of fire, but I haven't really worked with the earth that much other than to nurture growth.
It's not my forte either, but I don't know, maybe this will help. And she kind of reaches out and touches your fairy crystal circlet that you wear. And you can feel like a flowing transfer of energy from her to you. And she says, this will only work once, but call on me, and the spell I've placed in your circlet will transport you. So I hope it can be a boon in a bad situation.
Transport me where?
From tree to tree.
Oh.
And she basically puts a single charge of the transport via plant spell into her circlet.
That's really, really good. Oh. Okay. An escape route. This is great. This is really great. Thank you.
Least I could do. And she kind of tentatively goes for another hug.
Oh. I hug her back. If you have time, I can tell you about her edition. It was beautiful. I can take out the parts that make you uncomfortable.
No, there's a little bit of hesitation, but she says, No, I think I'd like to hear it all, and I can try to listen with a more open mind.
I'll tell you everything. You
she
should
kind
have
of
all the
sits down
information.
on one of the benches.
Yeah, so I'll sit down with her and I'll give the whole story, not leaving anything out.
Okay.
Especially about the big statue of her that was there.
How would she react to that?
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, there was this big statue that looked just like you.
Yeah, she says, yes, I'm aware that I have a follower or two down there, misguided though they are.
No, don't say that.
They don't really know me.
They were misguided.
Know who I
If they're misguided, then so am I.
Yeah, there's a weak chuckle. She listens to the whole story, and you know, when you talk about some of your like big moments where like the winds were breaking in through the walls of the stalactite and you went to seal it, you stood against the wind by yourself, things like that. You could see that like a proud smile crosses her face. And when you talk about the Weaver and your interactions with her, there's kind of like an unintentional grimace that always comes to her, but she listens. And when you're done telling the story, she kind of tells you that she probably can't stay here too much longer. But she's really glad that you got to catch up. And she just, before she vanishes into a flurry of snowflakes, she kind of looks you in the eyes and says, "I love you, Ellen. I truly do. And I just want you to know that. And I respect and trust any decision you make, even if it's not the one that I would. Perhaps especially if it's not the one that I would."
Thank you. I love you too. You're like a mother to me. I think you know that.
She nods. And that gets a big smile out of her. And then she kind of fades into snowflakes and drifts away on another cold breeze. And so, with the masked lady having faded off into snowflakes on a cold breeze, I think probably Vert and Embers would return around that time from their meeting with the guild. If no one has anything else they want to talk with as a group, we can jump forward in time. But if there's anything you want to talk about tonight, please feel free.
How far forward in time?
However far you want to jump forward in time. It's up to you. It's your game.
Well then, let's just fast forward to the end of this heist where we have his dad free and we've just...
So you're all in prison. Things went poorly.
End up here. Let's recall the...
You may be wondering how I ended up in this cell.
Again?
Home, not sweet home.
I think the only thing when they get back is Ellen's probably so excited about the boon she received that she would go and tell them, like, I have a way for us to get home. I know we haven't done any planning yet for the heist, but I have a way for us to get home quickly. I can only do it once.
Oh.
And we'll need a tree. Probably a pretty big tree. Like, maybe like this big.
Is there anything like that in the prison?
Not in the prison, but like...
No, but when the prisoners got like yard time, that was outside of the prison walls, and you could see that there are some like alpine evergreens and things like that back away from the prison. Like you'd have to dash across open field in the sight of towers to get to them.
We would have to get out of the prison, but we just, as long as we can get to a tree, I can get us out of there. So if we've got heat on us, I have a quick escape route ready for us.
It's good to know.
I might also be able to open a hole in a wall, but I'm gonna have to practice. Because I'm not good with earth or stone.
Ember's is looking at Ellen's fists.
Vert has like an eyebrow up. Like, we left for a couple hours and I don't understand how you have acquired all these talents all of a sudden.
Well,
but it's impressive.
I have been thinking about the problem for a while, so the opening a hole in the wall thing is something I've been trying to think about how I can do it. I think I can. I need to practice. But the instant transport thing, the masked lady was here.
Oh.
Yeah, she set off the alarm, so we know it works.
You would have felt that mental pain.
Yeah, I felt it go off, but I thought it was...
It was her, and we're fine.
Did you add her to the... Wait, do I have to add her to the list?
You have to add her to the list.
I'll add her to the list.
Okay. All right. We probably should have thought of that. Although I
Didn't think about it.
didn't think she'd even. I didn't know if she was ever going to come
Is there
back.
anyone
Honestly.
else we should add to the list?
Uh,
Nah, that's probably it. I'm kidding.
briefly considers the Weaver and then decides not to say anything. Anyway, she was here. We talked about it, and she gave me. She put a spell in my circlet, so I'll be able to use it once.
There are trees outside.
Great. Then at least we have our exit strategy.
We have an option.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be ahead of the game.
I will clarify, like, they're back a ways from the
Yeah.
prison. There's open ground in between the prison and them. Often there is, like, blizzard weather affecting that area. So,
Cold
like,
never bothered me anymore.
I bother the rest of your crew. So there are dangers getting to those trees,
Yes,
but
yes.
Does
they
it have
do
to be
exist.
a live planted tree, or
Yes.
it can't just be like you can't just take a tree with you and be like, this is the one, like, right?
I would say
Hold on.
probably.
We'll bring it with us
Someone in
in our
Bible.
chariot.
We can poured so many chariots in this campaign.
Oh no.
You guys have so much money. Blow it all on chariots.
No.
Like host chariot races.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yep.
just
Stop.
like BattleBots version.
Don't make me get my veto stamp out again.
I actually have my Zach approved stamp.
It doesn't say it needs to be a living tree.
Does not say it. So it says a large or larger inanimate plant.
Oh my gosh, so it could just be a stump. So we'd have this big stump with us, so it wouldn't even have to be a full-size tree. Oh, that's great.
It just needs to be big enough for us to walk through as if it
Is
create a
there...
doorway.
Okay, hang on. Is there in the Feywild, a lightweight, large, like, piece of fauna or whatever that we can bring that would work?
Tubbins, you want to roll a nature check?
Or maybe we observed something when we were there?
I don't think anything you would have seen while you were there, but Tuppence might know.
Like a rubber tree.
You know?
I just don't understand how we're going to lug.
That's a 22.
It's not a good idea, but we'll indulge him for now. No, we can't shoot any ideas down at this stage.
Tuppence, on the floating skylands of the Court of the Sky, there are some trees that they don't totally float, like away from the ground, but the tree itself will like float up into the air, and its roots will like anchor it to the ground, and so it can kind of sway in the air and float a little bit. That exists.
Actually, there is one tree. Tell me more.
I'm listening. You have my attention.
I could go snag one if you want.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I think that we're all real tired.
Is
We
Vert
need to-
suggesting a trip to the Feywild?
For this one thing, yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah. Don't you want it to happen now?
I'm surprised you even thought to ask.
Well, I had to think of something that would be a little bit extra fantastical than what we have right here.
You know what? I think we should sleep on it before we decide to bring a tree with us into a jailbreak. And a whole tree,
I mean, we have room in the bag of holding.
if it survives. And an
Doesn't
airless
need-
vacuum.
Doesn't need to survive.
I didn't officially confirm that. I just
Okay,
said the
let's
spell
just,
doesn't say
that's
it.
fine. Let's sleep on it and then we'll figure it out offline or whatever.
We'll just
If
put
that's
a
viable.
pin in that idea, and we'll see what else we can come up with.
Okay,
It's a possibility. I'm not
Fine.
saying no.
fine.
Vert, you would know that the bag of holding is not an infinite space. It is 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep, it says.
Oh, okay. That's not enough room then. Okay. Anyways. Okay. It's fine. We'll
Anyway,
figure it out.
I thought this was good news.
It is.
Great news.
We'll keep working on the plan.
So it would need to be like stumpy.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
That's what I'm thinking.
We'll sleep on it. We'll sleep.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Okay. At that point, then, I will turn things over to you. What would you like to do to start making preparations?
Were we gonna go to the magic shop, see if they had anything that could help us?
I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can go to Harmony's Wild Magics. Is that the name? Harmony's Wild Magic?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Harmony's wild magics.
And Nadia is there. Do you go just like first thing in the morning?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, she's like putting out the open sign, which is like bright neon lights that
course
kind of
it is.
flash OPEN and then just continues, like flashes that pattern.
I just love how it like sticks out like a sword.
Mhm.
It's my favorite bird.
Um,
Like a circus town.
Naturally.
yeah, and she sees you coming and kind of waves in your direction and says, "Oh, hi! I feel like I'm seeing a lot of you guys lately. Embers, you'll be good to know that I gave your robe to my boss.
Oh, great.
She's gonna work on it.
Thank you.
Shouldn't really take too long. Week, maybe?
Okay.
Do we have a week?
I forgot. When is Torn getting back?
Couple
Day
days,
after-
I
day after tomorrow, I think.
Yeah,
It was-
probably.
okay.
It'll
I
probably
totally
be tomorrow or the
Didn't
next day.
remember.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do we have a week before we need to set out?
I mean, we have his. Sure.
There's no like timeline on this, right?
Like we haven't heard of anything like they're moving him from
Right.
from there. And we haven't heard any.
The Clouder was going to get back to you with
Right.
some information in about a week as
Yeah,
well.
so we
Alright,
need-
so we need to hang
We
out.
need to
for a
wait
week and
anyways.
you-
Yeah.
Great.
I assume that's not what you came here for, though.
Not this
I mean,
time.
what else can I help you with? And she kind of ushers you in, and you can see that the 5-finger discount section
Yeah.
has been upgraded.
Again. Okay.
Yes.
There are sailing ships patrolling the moat
Uh-huh.
around the like items that you're supposed to steal,
Uh-huh.
and on it, it's got little fine painting work that says the name of the boat, and it says the Drowning Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And aboard the ship is a pirate-looking woman with purple pantaloons,
The little rabbit.
and she's twirling a belaying pin.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's how she gets you, huh?
Yep.
Yep.
That's incredible.
So there's the little marching, grumpy-faced paladins. There's the archers on the walls, and then now there's these
Okay.
pirates on the
Well,
boat.
first, I need to try out this contraption again, if I'm allowed, Nadia.
You're not supposed to tell me about it. The whole point is you're not supposed to get caught.
I know, but, you know.
I'll go look the other way.
Alright.
Come on, I'll distract you. Come on, let's go over here.
Alright, let's see. I don't think I have advantage for any reason.
But you're gonna use your intelligence instead, right?
Of course I am. Isn't that what you do? Whenever you want?
Hmm.
Okay, let's go for it. 1 dice. 1 chance.
It's the wrong music.
Nope, I failed. Got a 15.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as you kind of try and make your approach and you wait for like a time in the patrol where you can like reach in, you're not used to the timing of these ships. They add an extra layer, and one of them comes swooping in with incredible speed, as if like you even feel like a breeze is conjured behind its sails, and it just speeds up incredibly quickly. And as you kind of look down, you can see that there's like a miniature storm following it and propelling
Oh,
it.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
the pirate on there whips her belaying pin at you, and it just cracks against the back of your elbow or the back of your wrist.
Dang it.
It's a pain. It smarts.
Ouch.
Yep.
I'll just come back to them, kind of rubbing my wrist, like, not today. Maybe next time.
Yeah. Nadia sees that and says, "Auntie Mara got you. Yeah, she's pretty vicious."
Yeah, she sure is. Why does she have a blade?
It's a long story, but trust me, you don't want to be on the bad side of that belaying pin.
I guess so.
Until she brings out her whip.
She doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, it's in the.
She left it in
lost
hell.
Yep.
It's still floating on that ship.
Well, we were wondering what kind of things you might have to help us with our next mission.
Sure. Yeah. What are you hoping to do?
We'll need disguises.
Disguises. Looking through her inventory. There's a hat of disguise, isn't there?
Yes. Drylock's the favorite. There's one.
I feel like Harmony made one in season 1.
Yeah, she might have.
I think
She did?
Yeah.
And it
made something.
Definitely had a little bit of a hiccup in it.
Yeah.
But I remember she got like
Those
this
were the
really
best
fancy one.
enchantments.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so she takes you over to a shelf in one of the corners of the shop that has a bunch of hats of varying styles. Like some of them are like wide brimmed, like pointy and like slightly floppy witch hats. In fact, a lot of them are kind of that design in various colors, tending towards pink. And then some of them are what other types of hats are there? There's just like there's a whole variety of hats.
Like bowlers and
Mm-hmm.
top hats. And I feel like she would have collected a whole eclectic like offering.
Are there any berets?
Yeah,
Definitely.
there's definitely a beret.
There's a hot pink beret. And Nadia says, Well, these are our hats of disguise. My boss has kind of an affinity for them. So these all work very well. They are a little bit showy in their natural state, but yeah, they can let you cast a spell on yourself that will disguise yourself. So quite handy.
Sounds like just what you need.
Yeah. How long do they work for?
I think the spell lasts about an hour, but the hat's magic won't run out easily, so you should be able to keep recasting that.
It's a plus.
Yeah, that's great. How much?
They are uncommon, so can someone roll a d4 for me?
Go ahead, Nick.
Sure. Or not equal.
As a note, these do require attunement, it looks like.
4.
Okay.
No,
This
it's
is
not
the
good.
fourth.
It's not good.
Roll a second one as well.
3.
3, okay. She says, well, unfortunately, because my boss is really proud of her work here, these ones are currently going for 500. And then she pulls out a drawer at the bottom of the shelf, and there's some really frumpy looking hats in there. And she says, these work exactly just as well. They're just not up to my boss's standard as far as visual quality goes. So these I can give you 400 for one of these.
You said 400 for one of them?
Because you rolled a 3, right, for the second one?
I did.
Question: does the voucher that I won last time apply to the entire purchase, or
Yes.
just one item?
Entire purchase.
So if we wanted to collect a shopping cart, then just throw it on top.
We really only need 3 of these.
Yeah, but we need a lot more stuff too.
Do we need to disguise everyone?
Well, I suppose not.
I mean, it's really just you.
I would also disguise you. Well, here's the thing.
Well, I could be an animal.
I'm known at the penitentiary,
Yeah.
but all 4 of us are known by the Dragon Spears.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Do you have anything that will disguise a whole group of people instead of just one
I
person?
mean, I don't need a disguise. I'm okay.
Well, you could be exempt from it, but like
Yeah,
if we
but-
have one thing that disguises
Tuppence will be
everyone,
fine, probably.
Yeah, it's gonna be visible.
that's true. And yeah, I could be an animal.
Ah, well, the whole heist?
She
Several
the whole-
hours.
The whole operation?
Can actually make 2 people invisible now.
But that lasts like an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could be an animal for like 3 hours at a time. And I could
I mean,
do that
if we
multiple times a day.
if we're planning on being in and out, which is what I would assume we would do, we wouldn't want to be there for more than an hour anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's true.
So we may only need just one.
do you have any more of those shrinking potions?
Oh yeah, those we've got. You asked about disguising multiple people though, so before I forget, she kind of takes you over to where all those scrolls are stored, and she reaches up to a somewhat high shelf. She probably has to pull a ladder to get to it. And she pulls off a scroll that's a little bit dusty, and she kind of blows on it to get rid of the dust. But she proffers it to you, and she says, this is a spell that will disguise multiple people. It is illusory, so it won't hold up to any sort of touching or prodding or anything like that. It's the seeming spell, so useful, but has limitations.
That's an option too. How much for that?
This one's a consumable, so it'll be a bit cheaper, but it is a 5th level spell, so it goes under the rare. Can you roll a d6?
5.
5? Okay. Let's see, I have to do some math here. Okay. It is a bit expensive, but it is a very good spell. I can give you this one for 3,000 gold.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe just one hat then. But it's good to know in case that's something we need in the future.
And what was the other thing you asked about?
The shrinking potion.
Oh,
Shrinking potion.
shrimping potions.
Makes you a shrimp size. Crawfish size.
We have shrimping potions too, but they're very different in effects.
like both.
Okay.
How much is a shrimping potion?
Let's see. Hold on.
Tuppy appreciates the humor.
I got you. Is Tuppence with us or no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
okay.
here.
Oh wait, hold on.
You
Oh, yeah,
gonna try and
this is just
steal something
potions.
from the 5-finger discount area while we're busy?
Mage hand's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So the special shrinking potions that shrink 2 categories instead of just 1, those go for 150 each.
Hmm.
The shrimping potions,
Yes. Do they
they give you
turn
a shrimping potion for 50 gold pieces.
Are the effects? They turn someone into a shrimp-like figure, or do they make things taste like shrimp?
Do you really want me to tell you what it does, or
You
do you want it
catch
to be a
shrimp.
surprise?
Yeah, because I don't know if I need to drink it or use it as a seasoning.
I'm not going to tell you. It's a surprise. That's how my boss would do it, so that's
Alright.
how I'm doing it.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Respect.
Okay, so we'll buy a shrimping potion too.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm.
So we need.
How much gold do we have? Do we want to spend?
I don't know. Let's see what else we need first, and then make a decision. We need some acid. So. If you have like.
I don't know if
potions
that's
Just listen, I don't do the hard stuff.
that's
No,
yeah.
no,
That's
no.
like that's not a magic shop thing. That's like
potions
an
of acid,
apothecary
or some
thing.
type of way to conjure acid.
She probably, has some supply of acid, but not too much.
Like the alchemy jugs, do they create acid?
Hmm?
Probably.
Well, I mean, why don't you look it up? It's a thing you can do, isn't it?
Smarty pants.
I'm looking it up.
I don't think.
Yeah, they can. 8 ounces of acid.
Well, there we go.
So, I'm not sure how much acid. I can't think of how much acid we'd need if we want to like dissolve like metal bars
Well,
or
we
something.
may not need to do that
But we may need to do that.
if we don't come in through the door.
Okay.
But it's nice to have that on the side.
I think. Yeah. I mean, if that place, Ember, is that place like locked up pretty tight as far as having metal bars everywhere and stuff like that?
Do you have a magical key, like a skeleton key?
She says, it's funny you mention that, because I was just about to say, I have been trying to la on the details here, but you keep talking about a heist. And I do happen to have, and she brings you over to the counter where there's like a rotating thing that, like keychains would usually hang on. There's a bunch of these keys in various shapes and sizes, and she says, now these are mystery keys. They don't work on most doors most of the time. But once, they can work on any door. It's just a little bit of random chance. The key has a 5% chance of unlocking any lock into which it is inserted. Once it unlocks something, the key disappears.
But then another 95% chance it just won't work.
That sounds like
That doesn't seem
not
like
very reliable for
But you
this.
could buy a lot of them.
it. Yeah, but
That's true.
I don't really want
How
to.
much do they go for?
Roll a d4.
3.
So I'm selling these for 40 gold pieces right now.
Do you get a discount if we buy a bunch of them?
Your friend over there has a discount coupon at the moment.
Well, but like, say we buy 10. Do you give them to us for 350 instead of 400?
40, not 400.
Oh. Well, 10. 40 for one. If we buy 10, it would be 400. You give it to us for 350 for the 10 of them.
Roll a persuasion check.
Sure. Would I get advantage for any reason?
I don't think so.
I want to roll my Vex dice.
Do you want to use your
bartering.
intelligence?
Actually,
you?
no, I don't.
Oh,
I do not. Actually, it's the same score. 15.
She kind of thinks hard and says, yeah, I'll give you a 10 for 360.
Could be a last resort.
Sure.
It feels like the kind of thing Tuppence would have fun with.
okay, let's put a pin on that one. And
All right.
keep
So,
looking.
if Tubby were invisible and she used the key, if it's in her hand, it'd be invisible too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You'd have to try all 10 of them.
Sounds fun.
Okay. Anyways,
Do you have anything with a higher success rate of opening things?
This is something that my boss has been working on for a long time. Unfortunately, this is the best guaranteed result we've been able to achieve.
But there are spells and stuff that open doors, right?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Knock spell.
Yeah.
What level is that?
Second, I think.
2, yeah.
What?
Embers doesn't know this, so Embers can't tell you this, but it's a bad idea.
Oh no.
The knock spell produces
Oh, it makes a loud sound. Yeah.
that goes for 300 feet.
Yeah.
They are.
Oh, and also, this isn't a spell that's on her list,
Yeah.
so she wouldn't know that. But yeah.
On my...
Let's see. Second level. Yeah, she would take it over to the scrolls again and say basically exactly what Nick just said. These scrolls will do that. They struggle a bit more with arcane locks. Can do it, but not a little bit more trouble. They do tend to make a loud noise, which is sort of why my boss has been working on these keys.
I see.
So,
But again, if it's a last resort and we're in a hurry to get out of there, maybe it's not so bad. They already know we're there.
sure.
I wonder
Let's try and focus on the success of the plan instead of the failure of the plan.
All right.
So-
all right.
Maybe, okay, so if we probably need ways to detect or bypass magical barriers.
I can detect barriers. I can do that.
Like,
Detect
frequently?
magic. Yeah, it's a ritual.
Yeah, but that takes time.
It takes time, but it lasts for 10 minutes. So
Okay.
anytime I need to recast it, we can
All right.
pull over, or I can use a spell slot to recast
Pull
it.
over.
And like how
Okay.
to quickly teach a dragon to fetch.
Mm-hmm. Anyways. I didn't get it.
The dragon's guarding it, right?
Yeah.
We teach
Oh, we teach the dragon. So, yeah, do you have anything that can subdue a dragon?
Whew. I've got a dominate monster spell.
Oh.
That's probably a bazillion gold though, right?
Well,
It's like a level 8 or 7.
It's
so-
5?
dominate monster I think might be higher than
Oh, am I
Yeah.
thinking person?
Five.
Yeah,
Person
first
yeah.
5.
Dominate monster's 8.
8.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
They
nope.
will get expensive. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that would be really hard to
You have to trade our keep for that. So anyways, yeah. Bypassing magical barriers. Seeing them is fine, but bypassing
I can
them...
also dispel magic.
Okay, sure.
That is the spell that I was going to offer. So.
Right, I can do that.
Okay.
Me too.
Do you have anything that will give me a little bit more magical oomph, like if I'm running on empty? Something that'll restore some of that energy?
Ring of spell storing.
Oh yeah, that might be
She
good.
takes you over to like a ring display. Again, can be a bit pricey. Can you give me a d6 roll? Oh gosh, I should have been writing these down.
No, let him roll it.
Okay.
Because I have a
You
feeling.
got him. Thank you.
1.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fortunately, we're having a bit of trouble moving these at the moment, so they are on a pretty good discount. I can offer one of these for 2,000 gold
Oh
pieces.
my goodness.
What spell slot level do they go up to?
Let's see. Can hold up to 5 levels worth of spells at a
That's
time.
great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
But, like-
so I could put.
Of what level spells? Is it any of them?
Any, as
mix
long
and
as you
match
go up to
for
5.
up to 5.
So you can have 1 5th level spell or 5 first level spells?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or a 2 and a
And then
3.
they recharge.
I'll tell you what. You buy it, and I'll even precast a seeming spell into it.
Oh, ooh, good deal. That's something.
Because that was 5th level, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did we get a price on this?
2,000
Oh,
for the
2,000.
ring. Yeah.
What's the recharge rate on that? Is it just like 1d4 plus 1 or something?
No, it's like
For
you
dawn?
cast the spell and then it's empty, and then you have to actually spend magical energy to refill it.
Yeah.
And
So
then it's
there's
just
no. That's it.
It's like a empty bottle.
It's
for
just a
spells.
container. It
Yeah.
doesn't have a. Okay.
Right.
Yep. Any creature can cast into it as well. It doesn't have to be the wearer.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's yeah.
And then the wearer can use it. That sounds
Seems
great.
like a really good idea.
Does it need to be attuned to in order to
It
work?
does, yes.
I see.
Okay. The other thing that's on my mind is teleportation. And teleportation with either not being able to necessarily see where you need to go.
Tubbins, weren't you just saying you can do that?
Yeah, but Dimension Door, she can only do it for herself.
That's true.
Because we are too big.
Someone with me.
But no, it has to be the same size as you.
Size category.
Well, someone could make me bigger first.
Or you could be smaller.
That's why I was asking about the shrink preventers.
Um,
That's true. What are you thinking about the usage for that?
So in case we have to go, like if depending on where he's being kept, if we have to go in there and if
Well,
there's no physical way to get through.
I was thinking of opening the wall into his cell, so he could just walk right out.
I mean, well, we have to get him out too.
That's
but
what I
also, like, he's going to be in this high security area, right?
Sure.
So.
Which means the door is going to be impossible to get through, which I
This
thought
adventure
would be
sounds very
reasonable for the
exciting.
wall.
Don't.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
she makes
I
it-
mean,
can't
if
open
If it's
it.
stone. Yeah, that's true.
Right? What
That's
if it's
true.
metal?
That's true. Well, but then, there are ways for Tuppy to get in there.
And get out?
Nadia cuts you off and says, I have two decent teleportation options that I can offer.
Okay.
She brings you over to a very stylish red and gold cape.
Buying it.
Rich boy.
And she says, this is a cape of the mountebank.
What?
Mountebank? I don't know how it's
Mountebank.
Mountebank, yeah.
Lump, lump.
I don't actually know what that word means. So,
Of the Requiem.
once it got in my head, I just
The
couldn't
cape
stop
of the
saying it.
Requiem.
Anyways, very useful. You can cast the spell Dimension Door using it, and that's a handy medium range teleport. If you need long range teleportation, we do have in stock one Helm of Teleportation.
Sounds expensive.
Both of these fall into the same rare category, so depends what you're looking for.
I want to sound a word of caution here.
Right.
This is Greymantle we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not the local county jug. Some of the most powerful enemies of the Empire are held there. I don't know a lot about magic, and I don't know a lot about the precautions held in wherever we're going, but it seems to me likely that they have thought about teleportation spells.
That makes sense. Because otherwise, how would they keep people inside?
That's what I mean.
All the more reason to just open a hole in the wall.
I'm under the impression there's going to be like maybe not like necessarily like silence, but like a zone to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Like an anti-magic.
anti-magic field. Yeah.
Well, we need to find that and disable it first, obviously.
Depending on where, if it exists, where it is, and
Without magic, I'm no help to y'all.
right. That's why I'm looking for
I know.
physical aspect
But like
as well.
anything that we can get here isn't going to help us either.
Well, like I was saying, like acid and other
Which we
physical
cannot get
things.
here.
alchemy jug,
It's also magical, so that wouldn't
so we
work either.
pour it out. Anyways, yeah. Or if there's like,
While they're debating, Tuppy's gonna go try to use her mage hand and if I'm being the discount.
Yes.
give it.
Okay. Can you make... Does Tuppence have the sleight of hand skill?
If so,
Toward the bottom of your skills list.
oh, that's good.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
No,
Charging up.
she is charging it.
Do that.
Can you...
Oh my god.
Doing that?
Wait, what?
Is he talking about that?
I,
The sleight of hand there
oh, yeah.
on the skills?
Uh-huh. Oh, you don't have proficiency, but you have the Jack of all trades
Yeah.
half proficiency to it. Okay. In that case, can you roll a charisma check? So d20 plus your charisma, plus half your proficiency, which I think you guys have +3.
Yeah, so he still puts one.
Okay, so this plus 5. 15.
15. Yeah.
Oh, wait. I wanted to give myself a bardic inspiration.
Oh, okay. At a what are you at, a D8 now?
Yeah. 5.
So for 20 total. The mage hand kind of creeps its way in towards the treasures in the middle of this 5-fingered discount area. And just as its fingers are about to close around one of the pieces in the middle, a like a proportionally like a large arrow, but it's really just kind of like a little pin shoots out from one of the watchtowers and just pierces into the mage hand. And though your mage hand doesn't really have a lot of substance, the arrow seems to like drag it to the ground away from it, and it pins it to the ground.
Oh well, look at Vert and I say, I tried for you.
Happens to the best of us.
Worth a shot.
So yeah, if there's like other tools or way to also like turn metals and materials into other things, like you know, what do they call it, like
Transmutation.
transmutation. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say no without actually checking.
We can also do the rest of this like offline if we want to do other stuff. So just shop for an hour.
Well, this is important planning time for us too. Hi, baby.
Yeah, but we still need to wait for information from the.
I just noticed that in my notes I have Ring of Svel storing. There's an H in there that shouldn't be.
So,
yeah, she doesn't have anything that's like transmutation based, I don't think. Unless you can think of a spell that does that.
at the left.
Or a spell.
The spell.
Well, I'll be able to, provided I can use my magic. Hopefully I can shape stone, but I can also heat metal.
I can also be metal.
So we can, if it's like iron bars we're dealing with, we can potentially heat it and then reshape it.
I was thinking of that too.
But you're right. There's going to be defenses against the mundane stuff.
I can't tell you for sure what they are, if they exist, but it seems like it.
You know what was in your cell. You were in a pretty high security area, weren't you?
It wasn't that secure. It was...
You were kind of in the general area.
Yeah.
I will say, though, now that you think back on it, the cells themselves are kind of exposed to the outside air, but it was never like freezing temperatures in your cold. It wasn't a comfortable temperature, but there must have been at least some magic keeping your cells from getting to like freezing temperatures or something like that. So there is magic in the prison. You can say that definitively.
So magic works to some extent.
The magic they prepared in the prison works. More than that, I couldn't possibly say.
See. Alright. Well, I think maybe we can at least get the stuff we know we're going to want now, and then we can plan some more and come back later for more.
I think we put everything into a shopping cart, and then once we come back, then we buy everything, and we have that 10% off.
Right. You want to wait until we're sure. Okay. Can you hold items for us for like a week?
Yeah, I can put stuff behind the counter.
Alright. How about all the stuff we talked about today?
Well, yes. Most of it.
Well, the stuff that might, like the ring and stuff that might sell.
Yeah. So you can put all of that behind
The hats and stuff,
problem.
there's tons of them.
How much was the
Ember's
dimension door?
the one beret that
no one has rolled for it.
You wanted it.
You
can put that
6. I need a d6.
Okay.
Sugar.
1.
Oh, you are...
You should have been rolling the whole time.
I am a very good at bargaining.
2,000 gold pieces.
Okay. And that has one charge of dimension door?
Oh, for the cape.
I closed that page. Thank goodness for D&D Beyond. This would be a pain.
Oh my gosh, right?
There's a cape of enlargement? What?
Right.
It can't be used again until the next dawn.
So it's 1 and then 1 per day. Okay.
Yeah, so that's not really helpful either. You need to get in and out.
Yeah. But I mean, for someone like...
There is an effect that, like, the space you leave and the space where you appear are obscured by smoke.
Oh.
So there's that, which is interesting.
Keep that stereotype of our game. No, that was the dodging thing. Oh, the dodging.
Okay, cool. Well, this gives us a really good starting point, at least.
Alright, well, I'll hold on to all of those items, and you just come back, and...
Yeah. Thanks,
I
Nadia.
really appreciate all the time and care. And the discretion.
Yes.
Well, you're some of my biggest customers at this branch, so... In fact, you are my biggest customers at this branch, so I'm happy to do it.
It's
Just
great.
smiles.
Thank you. Give our regards to your boss, please. She's taking good care of us, too.
she's hard at work on that custom commission. I think it's going to turn out nicely.
Fingers crossed.
It's great. All right, see you later, Nadia.
All right, have a good one. Yeah, you leave.
I'm gonna hang back and ask if Nadia has time this week to do some more training.
Yeah, she nods and says, yeah, as far as I'm aware, I'll be here. So.
Okay. Yes. Good enough for me. So if we didn't have anything else planned, then I might just do that.
Okay. So do you just kind of want to, what's your plan as a group? What do you want to do?
Well, I mean,
Do you want
we've
to
got a
just,
week
like-
that we need to kick it, right? So
Spend a week planning internally?
I mean, we do have to come up with some plan, but there's only so much we can do until we get to the city. We do need to figure out how we're going to get to, what was it, Grey Barrow?
Yeah, that's the thing we can plan.
Yeah, which we can, if we have a disguise or like taking the train, something we can do. I think
Or a spaceship.
if we get that ring that has that illusion spell, I think that's one that lasts a long time too. So that might be long enough to cover us for a whole train ride.
I think it's 8 hours.
Yeah, so we could get that and the hat and use the ring for the train ride,
It's a good idea.
right? Especially if we have to go through Farmere. I'm not sure if there's still heat on us from the last time we were there or not, but
I mean, maybe for us.
I mean, it's not the heat on us I'm worried about. It's the notoriety.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, just recently we've had those reporters sticking around
Right.
because they heard that we were heroes, and that's kind of how we're known in Fire and now Port Rise and
Oh yeah, we need to go talk to them, don't we? Would you be okay coming with me?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. But yeah, are we okay? What were we gonna do? Take the keep in the Feywild and transport to Twin Towns, and then go from Twin Towns to Farmere and then hop a train?
Seems like the shortest distance from what I can tell.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds like a reasonable idea.
It means going back to the Feywild. Maybe we have a chance to look for those trees you were thinking about.
Don't. Yeah, forgot.
I didn't actually. I was gonna say if we had a week, then Tuppence could go.
That's true. If you want to go,
Yeah.
I'm with you. That sounds like fun. I have to keep an eye on the ship. Tree shopping.
Exactly. Like a nursery.
Yeah. I was also thinking we could maybe invest in like a disguise kit or something to disguise us on the train.
I have one.
Right. And you're pretty good at putting makeup on other people.
I am.
So that's an option too, at least for me. If you get the hat. And you can hide in basically anything.
I have my new armor too.
That's true. That's true.
Mm.
That's true. So I don't know if I could be an animal for an entire train ride, but I could at least make myself look different with a little bit of makeup.
Yeah.
Might be enough.
Good.
Alright, well, let's take a week and take stock of what we got. And maybe take a little jaunt into the Feywild as long as we're not there for overnight. Should be fine.
Okay.
And,
I've never taken a train before. That's so exciting.
you know, weren't we on the train when we saw the Emperor?
Mm-hmm.
It was like a
It's like an
like a
intercity
within the
shuttle.
city type of train,
Yeah.
as opposed to this, which would be like a
You took the light
steam engine type thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've never taken a train either. They're fairly new, I think. So it's kind of exciting.
rail. Yeah, I've never done either.
Okay. So it sounds like Elwyn and Tuppence have a thing they want to do.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I would love to explore the Feywild more, so I'm down.
Okay.
If you'll accept the company.
You go into the Feywild,
Mhm.
And you can see the floating sky islands that Tuppence is talking about. In the, like, when you look for them and focus on them, you can see them in the very far distance. It's that sort of thing, like when you look to the tree far off in the distance, where it's like, you know it's far away, but you can still see it somehow. They are high up in the air, and they do seem far away. But you could try and go to them if you want.
Damn, I'm one level away from being able to transform into something that flies. 8th level, I can fly.
Okay. You have anything that would summon them to us since you could see them? Look, it's so far away.
Can't you use your
Don't
dust?
you have your dust that can... You've made embers fly with...
Well, I know, but they seem so far away.
I mean...
We could try. You want to fly, don't you?
Well,
We're here in the Feywild, but
Do you both want to try and make it there?
I
in a
do.
day?
We could at least try to start moving toward it and see if it gets any closer. And if it doesn't, then maybe we just...
Okay,
I mean, we can
so,
tell Vert that it was too difficult. And
You know, the thing about the Feywild, too, is... Remember how attitude means a lot?
right,
And it seems like you really, really want this.
I do.
Let's try it.
I've never seen a flying tree before.
All right, I need a group charisma check
Oh,
from
boy.
you two.
Okay, just straight charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the advantage, or is that assigned at the beginning of the...
Okay. I touch you for...
I have my inspiration marked, but I
touch you for inspiration.
Oh, Bardic Inspiration.
Bardic inspiration. Oh, sweet. What is that now? An 8?
D8.
Ooh.
Okay, and we're making a charisma, just straight
Mhm.
charisma. Oh, we got a 10.
Oh, no.
17.
17? Okay.
With the inspiration.
The two of you start making your way in that direction.
Make it away.
And you are... Did you use the pixie dust on her?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're both kind of soaring over the grasslands as you...
I think Ellen's just laughing.
The grasslands at certain points, like... I think I mentioned before that they kind of roll and move a little bit, and there are like these massive roots that seem to be stretching from that tree far off in the distance with all the like rainbow leaves. At one point in your flight, the ground like rises up next to you, not like under you, but like next to you, and this wave of earth is just flying along with you. And as it does so, you can see like, since it's like a rolling wave of earth, there's like small animals that get like flipped into the air as it goes. And Tuppence, since you can communicate with the large animals, you just hear them going,
That's for all of the crisis there, too.
no, not at the moment.
Don't be alarmed. They love it.
Oh, they look like they're having a blast.
Yeah, they look a little manic, but you fly in the direction of the island for what you think is probably about 12 hours. And
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
you've definitely made some progress towards them.
But
They're still far in the distance. And Tuppence, like, from your experience, this makes sense because when you were traveling in the Feywild, it still took you a long while to get from the Court of the Sky back to the Amber Hearth area.
We ought to turn back.
Yeah. We're still trying to find a way to call them to us. I can't think of a way right now.
I mean, can you just wish it in your heart and it'll be? This is the place of dreams, right? I don't know how it works.
I could try the command spell if I concentrate on one of them and say come. I don't know what it'll do in the
I
Feywild.
mean, you might as well try, right?
Let's try it.
No harm in trying.
Okay.
Focus on a specific tree that I can maybe
Way
see.
far in the
Back
distance,
away
yeah.
from the distance.
And you cast the command
Right.
spell.
Okay, sure, whatever.
How does that look for Tuppence when she casts this command spell?
Well,
Is it like a power chord?
I also think that her wings like get more iridescent too with the music that she's making. It's really, really intense and really, really fast and really, really loud.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it would look like.
The music echoes out across the plain, and you can see like the grass ripples from the music. You say come? Okay. Just let me look something up here.
That's what we wanted to do with
I know.
That's a one-word command.
Mhm.
It's so big.
The tree that you're focusing on, you maybe think you see it wibble and wobble a little bit, but then you hear a rumble
Oh, no.
from the ground underneath you.
Oh no.
And you look down, and one of those roots that extends from the tree is like a hand-shaped, like wooden appendage is like reaching out of the ground, and something is pulling itself up.
No.
And this large tree that you thought was one of those roots rises up off the ground, and it turns a big wooden face to you and says, "I have come."
Oh, I'm not sure we can take this with us, Toby.
Why not? He can probably make himself smaller. He talks. What's your name?
I am Vanan. Who are you? This tree booms. Tuppence, you can. You're from the Feywild. You probably know this is like a tree ant.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a living tree.
Yeah,
How big is it?
It is huge category.
huge category.
So it is. Oh, I don't know. It's probably standing like 25 feet tall, and it's just this big oak tree.
Yeah, take it back. Yeah, that'll work.
I mean,
It doesn't.
you've seen
It's
Lord of
not
the Rings,
floating
right?
at all.
Well, what I'm thinking is to explain our dilemma, how we've traveled so far into our lovely realm, and what we need is like maybe one of your branches. Would you be willing to spare one? You're awfully big.
Vanon kind of looks at his. He's got like a bunch of branches that come off of his shoulder to form like a canopy above his head.
Are these branches wide enough to walk through?
Some of them, maybe.
Oh.
You need a plant that's like large, so you need basically like a log.
Yeah.
He looks at his own branches and he says, "You need one of my great and ancient branches."
Oh, it would be well used and well loved and well taken care of for the good of all mankind. Or creation kind? Planar
I
kind?
don't care much for the ways of mankind, but
Oh.
you seem friendly. Roll a persuasion check.
Oh my god. Oh, guidance.
Guidance is a...
A D4.
Okay, I'll use this one because it reminds me.
Inspiration. I don't know how that works.
Whoever has inspiration. Can,
Oh, that's right. So that's not
but
me.
I don't think we decided who has it, so...
I mean, mine is marked, and I don't know if that means I ended
Okay,
the
we
session
can say
with
you
it,
have it for now then.
or if I just forgot to unmark it.
Oh no.
Persuasion is not good. That's an 11.
Hmm.
Oh, wait. Do I have one of those things that... Nope, it's the other character, sorry. I have a feature where I can't really fail. Okay.
Mhm.
I will not part with my body.
That's an understandable and perfectly respectable choice, sir. Thank you for
It's-
considering it.
Fair, but, you could use to shed a few pounds, don't you think, Elle?
He rumbles at that.
I think this gentleman was nice enough to come and converse with us. Sugar, I think we should leave him be. And we need to get heading back.
His bark
Ellen's
is worse
like,
than his
Do you want
bite.
Do you want to insight,
Hold on.
Elmer?
I was hoping
You make
might
that
try to
joke.
convince.
I need a persuasion check for that joke.
Oh.
See how he takes that.
Guidance.
Guidance. Persuasion. Come on. It's an another 11.
Mm.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he rumbles and says, "You make light of my bark!" And he reaches into the ground and he grabs a boulder and he hurls
grab
it in
Tuppence.
your direction.
Tuppence and try to pull her out of the way.
Tuppence, you take 28 bludgeoning damage
Oh my
from
God.
this boulder. Be gone, small one! Never bother Vanan again!
Our apologies, Ancient One.
Did you say 28?
Yep.
Jeez. I like just grab Tuppence, like start flying away. Apologies, Ancient One. We'll leave you in peace.
Yeah, he crawls back into the ground as you're leaving.
Yeah, gosh. I cast Healing Word on you.
If he'd taken the joke well, I was going to have him attempt to cast animate trees on the distant trees. And bring one to you,
Well, we tried, and it's not outside of the realm of possibility, but it would take much longer than a day to get there. And I don't think we want to spend more than a day in here. Given the timeline.
I agree.
Listen, that thing seemed really dangerous. We were lucky. Are you okay?
Okay, I just hate to disappoint Vert.
Listen, I think that idea was, between you and me, absolutely preposterous. So, if you want me to be the one to break the news, I will break the news. It's not your fault, honey.
I know. In my head, I'm just trying to think of other possibilities or something else we could get while we're here, so it's not a wasted trip.
Well, we've got a 12-hour flight back. Maybe we can find something on the way back.
Okay. Keep your eyes peeled.
I will.
Alright.
It's gonna feel so heavy when you're back to solid ground.
I am not looking forward to that.
You fly all the way back.
Mm.
Can I have a charisma check from both of you?
Sure. Oh no.
20.
Oh! 22.
Okay. It is smooth sailing on the way back, and despite having not gotten what you came for, it seems like the Feywild around you is in good moods. And yeah, you get back in like 6 hours. It's weird.
Right.
So you're well within your window.
Time to kill, even. Yeah, can we, like, look for things that, like... I don't know.
Tubby plucks a flower, one of those that you admired on your first visit. It won't last outside here, but
Oh, thank you.
here you go.
I was thinking if there was some...
Oh, yeah.
If there's something we can... Some kind of natural substance that we can extract from mushrooms or some other wildlife, that we can make some kind of a tincture or something that he might be interested in to use for, I don't know, some of his tinkering. Maybe we just collect some mushrooms or something, bring them back, see what we can make out of them.
You can definitely get a handful of Feywild mushrooms.
Yeah, we can do that. Sure. Just bring it back and put it, once we get back to the keep, get like this really fancy basket and just arrange them all in this basket. And like, when Vert comes home, he's got like a basket of mushrooms. We picked some mushrooms for you. So we didn't find the tree.
I hear they make excellent tea, too.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'd trust tea made in the Feywild, but you know what? I might try it.
You return from the Feywild just fine. Vert, you wanted to try and do some training with Nadia?
Yep.
The next day, you go to the shop, and it's not open. And there's a note on the door that seems to be addressed to the Silver Seekers. And it basically says something to the effect of, "Sorry I'm not here right now. Got called away to stand trial. Be back in a week or so." Or I'll be back by the end of the week, is what it says, actually.
Okay.
Sorry, remember you rolled that thing where she's a criminal?
I don't.
For the complication last time you trained with her?
Oh my gosh, that was it?
Yeah, so
Oh,
you
no.
lose a week of training with her because she's a
That's
criminal.
so funny. That's
Somewhere.
so funny.
Yep, it
What a
doesn't
great
necessarily say
complication.
where that she's
So-
standing trial, but
Scratch
she'll be
my head
back
and be
before the
like,
week is over.
Okay, well,
Might have to break 2 people out of this.
I know.
wow.
Oh my gosh.
She breaks herself out.
Sorry.
Wow.
You rolled that complication, and I've been holding
No,
on to that for the
that's-
next time you go to train with her.
That's really funny. Yeah, I'm totally okay with that.
Was there anything else anyone wanted to do with the week? Otherwise, I can skip ahead to what the Clouder comes back to you with.
Let's see. Yeah, I can't really think of anything.
You can sort of spend the time as a group plotting and planning. And at some point, I think Kashura would come to dinner.
Yeah, I mean, I think that everyone's going to spend a little time every day. Sure.
Yeah, the alarm goes off when Kashura does come to dinner. That happens.
And Tepid glares at her the whole time.
She glares back.
Trust her.
She's pretty good at that.
Trust her at all because I wasn't there for that whole thing.
I think
Um,
Ellen is trying extra hard to be nice and hospitable, which maybe to you guys comes off as super super fake in the way that people, when you know they're how they actually feel about something, and you see them totally turn it off and put on the customer service mask. That's what Ellen's doing the whole time she's over.
There is one other thing that happens during the week, which I'm glad I looked at my notes because I had forgotten about it. At some point, a set of papers is delivered to the keep, maybe by messenger Drake. And it's a set of documents describing council proceedings that you missed while you weren't here. And it says that they need your deciding vote to split a tie, basically,
Okay.
on an affair that you weren't present to discuss. And it kind of lists who landed where on the question. And basically the gist of it is Amberhearth has historically had really only one temple in it, and that's the Cultivation's Altar. Or I think that's what it's called. I'd have to look it up. Anyways, it's the group that worships Pelor's harvest aspect.
Okay.
But since incorporation into the Empire, they've been receiving missionaries from temples of Bahamut and Tiamat, who have petitioned the council for the right to establish and build churches in Amberhearth. So the council's voting on that. Commander Cherry Cheeks voted yes. Hescon Kimbatul, who is the head priest of the Pelor worshippers here, voted yes. Emmeline Foxridge voted no. Valreas Duoth, who's the drow tradesman you work for, voted no. Lally, the centaur farmer, voted yes. And Rurik Shovel-Sharp, the boss of the Shovel-Sharp clan around here, voted no. So they need a tiebreaker.
So with the, because when I'm in Amberhearth, I like to work a bunch of odd jobs, random places and kind of build networks. During some of those shifts and times, I guess throughout the week, can I ask people what their thoughts are about,
Yeah,
and get a general idea of what the population wants?
sure. Roll just an investigation check.
Okay.
By the way, are you guys okay going a little long because we had the food stuff? I'd like to get through the information the Clouder got
Okay,
before we get to.
Needed it. 15.
15. Okay. You gather a lot of the common people don't necessarily see the need for it to happen. There's some people you talk to who express some interest because having those churches in town can mean the town grows, right? Because more people might settle there. So it could be, they're the main churches for the Empire. So it could lead to further growth for the city and expansion, which is not necessarily a bad thing. There are some people who still maintain very strong anti-imperial sentiments, and those people definitely grumble about this idea.
Yeah, like this would deepen ties with the Empire essentially.
So it's kind of a mixed bag, but you think like the general population just doesn't understand why they need it. Like they've always been fine with what they have. Why do they need different churches here?
Two other quick things about it. How many people live, like roughly, how many people live in Amberhearth?
I'm glad
Is it
you
like
asked.
hundreds or thousands or like?
Overview here. Population approximately 7,500.
Okay, and I forgot the other thing. So, you know, it's my short-term memory. 5 seconds later,
You'll remember in a week.
I'll remember in a week. And it probably wasn't that important.
Mhm.
What was it though? Gosh. Okay, I don't know how it just went away. Yeah,
Welcome to my world.
that's fine. Weird, right? Yeah. Okay, so
Well, if it's up to us, do you have any strong feelings about it?
no.
No, personally, I have strong feelings, but if Lavinia's for it, I'm against it.
I don't want to do it.
You said no because you don't want to do it, not because you don't have strong feelings. I figured you'd say no just because of the tie to the Empire, and I don't like the sound of that Tiamat person, so...
Well, do you want to roll a religion check?
Sure.
I remember the other thing while she's rolling. That's okay.
Yeah, what was it?
Is the rebuild effort complete?
Nearly.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be kind of the other thing. You would probably... That would have been included in the packet. It would have been information like the council is starting to settle details on the festival that they're going to have. No date decided yet, but
Sure. Okay.
that's going to be coming up soon.
13.
13. You don't know a lot about Tiamat, but you did interact with Izzy a little bit. Issy? Isai? I can't remember how I pronounced it. The Silver
Who's
Seeker
the warlock or something?
cleric. of
Cleric.
Tiamat.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
And that crew does come back at some point, Torin and the recruits. But you did interact with Izzy, and she is a follower. And you gathered that Tiamat's main things, as worshipped in the Empire, are amassing wealth but being frugal in your spending, taking pride in yourself and suffering no indignity against your honor, and letting your passions and your desires drive you because they give you strength to achieve things.
Well, yeah, I feel like as someone who worships, I would like to have temples to my own gods in the city, so I can imagine if there are people in the city like Izzy who worship these gods, they'd want to have them, but I also agree that we shouldn't be strengthening our ties to the Empire, so I'm happy to vote no.
Okay.
Right.
Tuppence, you're okay with that too?
Fine.
So you can send back a note to that. Good to know.
One other thing we want to do this week is to go down and take that interview for the...
That's never mind.
Oh, right. Do you want to play that out? If so, we can do it next time.
I don't think we need to unless there was information specifically that you wanted from us.
Not necessarily, no. If you could just tell me, like, what sort of story you tell them, and, like, what sorts of things you tell them, that will just impact
I think
how the readers
the
take
main
it.
messaging is the mission statement for what we're trying to achieve here, which is Embers' vision. I don't think that we give any fine detail on any of our exploits outside of just broad strokes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we definitely don't mention the name, League of Terrors or anything.
right, we don't talk any details.
But I think we sort of say that, like, we did this thing in the city without, saved a town from a horde of zombies.
That's it, like maybe the public would know just from witnessing it. We
Mhm.
don't give any
Yeah.
inside information, but we could confirm or deny rumors without expanding on them too much.
So it sounds like you stick close to the truth, but kind of hide some of the
obscure
details.
things
Yeah.
and try to redirect questions into bringing out that message of, you know,
Yeah.
wanting to create an organization that does good.
And I think to some extent, I'm also trying to steer subtly, but maybe not very subtly because it is Embers.
Yeah.
Or you could leave me to steer it if we talked about it beforehand.
But just the idea that like we're doing this because the Empire isn't.
I
Yes.
see.
Yes.
Interesting.
Ellen will help you steer that. too.
Is Elwyn the main speaker?
I would imagine so.
Yes.
I think we would have probably
Mhm,
hashed
mhm.
out a plan ahead of
Yeah.
time, and then Embers would have let Elwyn do most of the time.
I just wanted to know because it will, like, the paper will probably frame it as, like, whoever's doing most of the talking is, like, the leader or
Yeah.
spokesperson.
And
of
I'm
the
okay
Silver
with that.
Seekers.
That was
So
kind of my plan all along,
Yeah.
too, was to get
Mhm.
my
Yeah.
name out there as the face of our organization.
Okay.
So,
that's definitely the way that this article will be written.
Yep.
That's why I
Okay.
wanted to know.
yeah.
So,
And I will use, my name, too.
okay. In that case,
All the more reason I'll probably need that disguise kit.
Mhm, mhm.
sometime around the end of the week, you do get another messenger drake summoning you to meet with the Clouder again, so that they can go over what they've discovered. And it's another midnight meeting in the Bloodied Swath.
Cool.
Yep. Let me just get a spooky sounding track here. It's not Crackle of Flames this time, which means I have to do Torga's voice, but you meet with Torga, and she says, "So, we were able to get you some information. Penitentiary is a tough nut to crack, but there are ways we can help. Now, boss says we haven't quite worked out a deal for how much this information would cost, so I'm just supposed to tell you the sorts of things we found out, and then we can talk from there. We've got some information about potential way to get in, which could be helpful, and we can provide a little bit of services to help in that regard. We also have a little bit of information about the prison itself, which could help you out once you're in.
What type of information?
Information about, pitfalls you may want to avoid,
I see.
defenses and things like that.
Okay.
And finally, and Torga holds up a stone with like a speaking face carved into it.
Oh, okay.
We were able to get contact with Shay Hexwing, and they've agreed to have a brief conversation with you if you want it.
Interesting. What a surprise. Okay. So where does that put us now?
Depends which bits of that you're interested in. As DM, I will say the information about the prison itself, like pitfalls to avoid and defenses and things like that, I don't have any specific information to give you. And it's funny because we were just talking about this today, but I'm going to steal something from Blades in the Dark. This was what I came up with this in advance before our conversation today, which is during the heist, if something goes wrong, you can say, actually, flashback, we planned for this. And you can tell me how you planned for it, and like say you need an item to overcome the situation or something like that. You can say, we planned for this, we're prepared, this is how we deal with it, this is how we plan to deal with this problem. I haven't worked out the exact mechanics, so I can't tell you how many times you'll be able to do that necessarily, but you'll be able to do that sort of thing while during your heist.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
So that's what that piece buys you. I think the conversation with Shay is a little bit, I mean, it is what it is. You may or may not get information out of Shay, depending. And then, the Clouder does have information and methods that may help you get into the prison.
I mean, honestly, I think I'm personally interested in all of the things that Torga's mentioning. So.
Okay. So, I was a fool and I didn't price those out.
You want to do that later? And
why don't you roll me a persuasion check, and that will
Okay.
influence how high this price goes.
all right, you said
Can I
persuasion.
cast enhance ability on his charisma before he left? No.
Absolutely, yeah.
Does he have advantage?
Yes. Okay, one sec. Let me check something.
I was laughing when this conversation came up earlier about Blades in the Dark, because I was like, oh, they don't know it, but I'm stealing that mechanic for this.
And advantage. And I'm going to use Flash of Genius, which is my level 7 ability. And that is 26.
26, okay. So the help getting into the prison, I'm
Oh,
going to say...
wait. No, sorry. That's more than 26.
Oh, snap, okay.
That's 30.
Okay. Yeah, I would give you all of those for, let's say, 300 gold, 100 each.
Wow.
Do it.
I'll do it.
Bargain.
You do some fine negotiating. They were able to find this information easier than they expected, that sort of thing.
Nice.
Okay, so Torga starts with the information and advice and says, okay, look, so here's how we would be getting in if it was us doing the job. The prison does these semi-regular staff rotations because it's such a remote and desolate location. Nobody wants to work there for too long of a time. So they rotate in guards and chefs and things like that to keep the prison staff from being there for too long and getting stagnant and lazy and stuff like that. So we're coming up on one of those semi-regular rotations. We believe we could procure the necessary information required for you to impersonate, as well as disguises to impersonate some of the staff that are supposed to rotate in. And we could ensure that they don't arrive when they're supposed to.
Okay.
The other option we thought of, this one's a little more tricky. Miss Ash? I don't know. This one over here. She mentioned... I don't know how Spaxies work. My friend Trackable Flames is Spaxy and I don't know. Anyways. Embers of White Ash over here mentioned last time we met that sometimes clerics are able to get in to do, you know, whatever clerics do to, like, what do you say, rejuvenate? Rehabilitate, that's the one. Rehabilitate the prisoners. It's a bit more tricky. We can't easily bribe or make religious types disappear as easily as we can the other staff, but that's an option. If we could get you in as one of them, or with one of them.
What is
I don't want to do anything that would cause anyone to stop that program.
That's a good point.
Alright, well then that's out. It's harder anyways. Staff are easier. Now, the Clouder can't really help you here, but we're going to strongly recommend you have a good way out.
That we got.
Good. Because you're going to need a quick exit, and we don't really have the means for that. But if you've got it covered, then good. Then yeah, she'll spend some time going into the details that basically amount to your we planned for this points.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't have those to offer to you now. It's just keep that in mind.
I like to imagine also, just backtrack for just a second, that the 30 on persuasion was both negotiation, but then also just playing on the fact that he's Onyx and Torga likes
Oh yeah,
Genasi, and he's like, "Come on, Torga."
You get a little
You
flirty.
know,
with it.
yeah, a little bit of like.
Oh yeah, she's
little winking.
putty
and-
in your hand.
Yeah. I'm just like,
She's probably gonna get an earful from
Yeah,
the flames
yeah,
later
I know
if we're
you
going
can
so
go lower
low on the
than
price.
that,
But,
you know. Like,
but you know, for you Onyx, anything.
I'll buy you a drink later, you know, type of thing.
Buy me too.
Yeah. Play some darts again.
Is that what you say? Is that what you call it? Okay. Anyways, and then she will proffer to you the. It's not exactly a sending stone because it allows for a short communication, like a conversation, but basically a sending stone.
Okay. And so, like, is this a sending stone? Is it like a one-time use type of thing, or is it like?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You get not a single message, but you'll get a short conversation.
So it's like a timed little call. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Does that have to be now, or can we think about it and contact the Matter Legion?
I don't know the details. I don't know if Hexwing is going to just be sitting on the other end waiting for your call. Torga shrugs.
Okay. So we got the way in. We planned for this thing. Is that second part kind of what they discovered as far as the traps and other things that are in
exactly.
place? Okay.
I don't have that information to give you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have anything for like mapping. Like they don't know where the high security area is. Like that was one of the things I asked about.
No, that might be something that Shay would know though.
Okay.
Because Torga will tell you Shay was within the high security area.
Yeah.
Shay was like the best thief in the Empire.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to
so.
figure out where the gaps of information are, so when we have that conversation, I can try and like hit those points at least. Okay, that works.
Okay.
Cool.
Then with that, unless there's anything else you wanted to put on the Clouder at the moment,
No.
we can call it a night for tonight's episode. Thank you all for tuning in to watch. Or thank you guys for playing. Thank everyone else for tuning in to watch. Ooh, what a night. We'll be back with this more Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.